All right, with matrices, when I say a matrix, it is just an array of numbers. It has rows and columns. So it has square brackets, and so it might look like this. So it's just a listing of numbers with rows and columns. Your rows are the horizontal ones, columns are vertical, just like in Google Sheets or Excel or anything like that. When we are finding the size of a matrix, it is given rows by columns. So it's a 2 by 3, 1 by 4, something like that. If I look at this one, how many rows does it have? 2. How many columns? So this is a 2 by 4 matrix. There are some special matrices. So you can have a square, column, or a row matrix. A square matrix is anything when the rows or columns are the same. So this matrix, it has 2 rows and 2 columns, so it's a square matrix. So a 2 by 2, a 3 by 3, a 4 by 4, those are called square. If it's a column matrix, it's just a single column. So you have multiple rows, but only one column. If it's a row matrix, it's just one row. If I ask for the size of this column matrix, remember it's rows by columns. How many rows does it have? The rows are the horizontal, so it's 3 rows, but only 1 column. And this one, it's only 1 row, but how many columns does it have? 4, so that's a 1 by 4 matrix. So on the size, you always list the rows, how many horizontal, by the columns, how many vertical. Are there any questions about the size of the matrix, how I'm getting that? So there are lots of different operations we can do with our matrices. They're used anytime you have a lot of different numbers that you want to organize. Another time is systems of equations. We can use matrices, like we saw when we added that third equation in, it was a lot of work to do substitution or elimination to get that answer. And if I added in a fourth equation, it would be exponentially more work. But matrices give us another option for arranging all those numbers and kind of a more efficient method of dealing with them when you have a large number of entries to look at. What we are really going to talk about is just some basic operations with them today. Adding, subtracting, some solving equations. In order to add or subtract matrices, they have to be the same size. So they have to have the same number of rows and columns. And if they do, then we can add them together. So if I asked you to find the sum and difference for these two matrices, they have to be the same size. When I look at matrix A, it has 2 rows, 1, 2, 3, 4 columns. It is a 2 by 4 matrix. When I look at matrix B, it has 2 rows and 4 columns. So both of these are 2 by 4. That means we can add them. If they weren't the same size, it would just be no solution. You couldn't add them together. So when we say A plus B, your answer is going to be the same size. It's going to have 2 rows and 4 columns. So there are 8 numbers we have to get here. And to get them, you might be able to guess. If you didn't know what else to do, how do you think you would get A plus B? Any guesses what this first number might be? go out on a limb and guess?
-1.
How'd you get it?
By adding the ones that are in the same position.
Exactly. So this one, you take the number in the first row and first column plus the number in the first row, first column of that matrix. So 2 plus -3 is -1. You don't have to show as much work as I am. I'm just trying to write it down to make sure everyone understands where I'm getting these numbers from. So for the second one, we're still in the first row, the second column. So we have to do 4 plus 4. So we get 8. Next one. 8 plus 0 is 8. Last one. -3 plus 1 is -2. You do the second row the same way. So I have the first number in that row, so 0 plus 6 is 6. Second number is 1 plus 8 is 9. Third, 2 plus 2 is 4. Last one, 3 plus 0 is 3. So that is matrix A plus B. So if I ask for A minus B, what do you think we do? Subtract each entry. So 2 minus -3. Make 2 plus 3, so that would be 5. 4 minus 4 is 0. 8 minus 0 is 8. -3 minus 1, -4. Second one, 0 minus 6, -6. 1 minus 8, -7. 2 minus 2 is 0. 3 minus 0 is 3. Alright, are we okay with that one? Do you guys think you can try one on your own?
So would all the work you have to show is like what the bottom two are?
Yeah. So not a lot of work required there. Alright, I want you guys to find A plus B and A minus B. What size is matrix A? Ooh, 2 by 3. Because it's 2 rows, 3 columns. Matrix B, 2 by 3. Since they're the same, we can add and subtract. If they weren't, you would just say no solution. We couldn't combine. Alright, so first row, 0 plus 4 is 4. 3 plus 1 is 4. -5 plus 0, -5. Second row, 1 plus -2 is -1. 2 plus 3 is 5. 6 plus -2 is 4. A minus B, you just subtract. 0 minus 4, -4. 3 minus 1 is 2. -5 minus 0, -5. 1 minus -2, so 1 plus 2 is 3. 2 minus 3, -1. 6 minus -2, so 6 plus 2 is 8. Did you guys get them? Okay. We can also multiply matrices. Today we're only going to look at what happens if you multiply what's called a scalar, just a number, by your matrix. But you can probably predict. If I said 4A, what do you think you would do?
Multiply the whole thing by 4.
Yep, every single number times 4. So 3 times 4 is 12. 1 times 4 is 4. 5 times 4 is 20. -2 times 4, -8. 0 times 4, 0. 6 times 4 is 24. You guys do B. Every number in matrix C times a third. So 9 times 1/3 is 3. 0 times 1/3 is 0, -3 times 1/3, -1, 1/3 times 6 is 2. Did you guys all get that? Okay. C. We want 3a minus 2b. So you can certainly show work if you need to. If you are more confident, you might be able to do that without showing work, but for our purposes to explain what I'm doing, I'm going to write it out. 3a, so if I take everything in a times 3, I get 9, 3, 15, -6, 0, 18. 2b, so I'm taking everything in matrix B times 2. And then I want to subtract those. So 9 minus 8 is 1, 3 minus 2, 1, 15 minus 0, 15, -6 minus 16 is -22, 0 minus 2 is -2, 18 minus -6, so 18 plus 6 is 24. So you take everything in A times a -2, everything in B times a 7, add those together. So we get 28, 1, 10 for the first row, second row -16, 17, -26. Did you get it? Want to look at is solving equations with matrices. So a matrix is oftentimes labeled with a capital letter. So when I see this equals 4G, G is a capital letter, it's meaning a matrix. So we are looking for matrix G. In any other equation, if you were trying to get G by itself, what would you do? Divide 4. So what we're going to do is divide everything in this matrix by 4. So 8 divided by 4 is 2. -12 divided by 4 is -3. 64 divided by 4 is 16. Keep in mind the size of the matrix doesn't change. So you guys do that one. Find matrix J for me. So if you want to solve for it, you just basically subtract that matrix over. So -9 minus 6, -15, 21 minus 10 is 11. 18 minus negative, so plus 12 is 30. Looked like we did fine with that. Any questions there? We might also have something that is a couple steps. So just like any other equation, you might have to solve multiple multi-step equations. So what would you do first here? Subtract that matrix. -5 is 19, 31 minus 11, 20, -40, plus 16, -24. And then what do we have to do? Divide everything by -4. So it's okay to have fractions in these. So it's -19 fourths, -5 and 6. questions there? I'd like to do one final problem for today. So these are row matrices. They're only a single row. It's still solving an equation, but when I look at this, we have to find out what A, B, and C are. So there's actually three things we're looking for. Different options that you might do. So you could think of it as solving an equation. So you subtract over this matrix. So -4 minus 2 is -6, 3 minus 0 is 3, -6 minus 8 is -14. And then we would divide by -2. And so for your answer, you just have to tell me what each variable is. So what is A? 3. B is, and C, 7. Right, so I might ask you to solve for an entire matrix, or I just might ask for a certain variable within a matrix. Idea is the same, like solving the equation. Anything that we need extra practice over? There's a Math Excel assignment open, so you guys have time to work on that and hopefully get it